I had my first experience with motorcycles when I was about 10. It was a mini bike with a little foot brake that rubbed on the rear tire, and that was really what got me hooked. After that, I would start taking the motorcycles that I would find and rebuild it and make it better and make it faster and all that kind of stuff I did when I was a kid. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I figured it out. And that's really what my whole life has been about, is trying to figure out how things work and then how to make them work better. Coming from a background in motocross and trials, it's all about clutch control. I got my first Ducati and I started riding it around and found it to be this, really beautifully made motorcycle. But I was so used to having clutch control on my other motorcycles that I was frustrated by how I couldn't really get the best out of my Ducati. I couldn't slip it hard coming away from the lights. I would take it apart and sand the plates and put it back together and try to improve it, and to no avail. And also, it was living a short life. I'm putting lots of miles on my bike, I'm riding it hard, I'm really using this thing, and the clutch is limiting my ability to control this bike. So I made a phone call to purchase a new clutch for my Ducati. And I asked the guy whether or not, they'd closed up the tolerances on the plates and whether it was still loud and jangly. If you don't allow the plates to shake apart, you can't find neutrals and you can't change gears properly. It's an engineering conundrum. It became a challenge for me to figure out how to basically make a dry clutch perform as well as a wet clutch. First challenge was to stop the clattering of the basket. Basically, the concept is that one plate is like the leader plate, and the rest of them follow the leader. And this one plate that's at the top is precisely made to exactly match the basket that I call the stabilizer plate. And the second was to create a clutch that would be slippable and that wouldn't give clutch judder. That was a special spring plate that allows those shock loads to be absorbed but without affecting the feel of the lever. The first thing you notice when you're riding a Ducati with one of my clutches in it is how it feels at the lever. You get a lot of control without having to pull the clutch lever very far back. When you modulate the clutch like that, you actually have control. You can actually feel what's going on. You're directly in contact with the engine and the ground. You want to have complete control and to be able to modulate the clutch by pulling the clutch in a small amount. Obviously, when you want to completely disengage, you pull it all the way back. But while riding, you can modulate the clutch. You can use the clutch. That's the first thing that people realize. A lot of people have said to me, wow, I didn't have any idea that I could ride like that, or I'm finding myself riding completely differently now. And it's a lot of fun. It opens up a whole new world for people. I think one of the things that sets me apart from my competitors is that I never really thought about how I could make things cheaper, how I could cut corners, or where my profits were going to be. The main object was to create something that was as good as it could be. It's entirely made from 7075. It's all CNC machine, including the plates, and every part is hard anodized, not just type 1 cosmetic anodizing. It's type 3 hard anodized, designed to last and last. I know for a fact that after 20,000 miles of hard use, you look inside there and you cannot see any discernible wear. I've actually sold no replacement clutch plates, not a one. We're a small operation and I like it that way. It allows me to have control over everything and to be able to oversee everything that's going on. In fact, I'm hand assembling these clutches. A Ducati is a very beautifully made motorcycle. If you have a clutch that's very beautifully made as well, much like an engine, you get that much more precision and that much better control and feel of your bike. And all of a sudden you have a whole new riding experience.